Hi everybody, it's Kenzie from Dead Men Don't Podcast. As you can see, I'm so excited, but I have a light now. Wow, what a concept. My face is being lit up. Oh, and hi Dara. I know this might not be interesting to like 85, let's not be optimistic. 98% of you, but I have different earrings this time than the ghost ones. I didn't get them, but the same girl on Etsy that sent me the earrings gave me a free, if I can get my hair out of my ear, sent me some bat ones here. I know, I'm so cool. But yeah, let's get into the story now. So today, I will be telling you a story that actually really freaked me out writing it. Today, I will be talking about a haunted doll, and not just any haunted doll, but a Canadian haunted doll named Mandy. So our story begins in Quesnel, British Columbia. It is a small city between Prince George and Williams Lake. Now, for any of you that don't live in BC and aren't familiar with some of the towns that there are there, if you know where Vancouver is, it's about 650 kilometers north of Vancouver. In 1991, a woman named Lisa found a trunk in her grandmother's basement, and inside that trunk was an old antique doll. I know. The doll did not look like a nice doll, as to be expected, found in a trunk in the basement. The face was cracked, the clothing was ripped, and so was the body. So the body was cloth, and then the top was a porcelain head. Despite all that, Lisa decides to keep this doll as a memory of her grandmother, which I can kind of understand because I myself have one, not a porcelain doll with a cloth body, but I have a Raggedy Ann doll. It's not in my room. It's downstairs in the basement. I know, wonderful place to keep it. It was given to me by my Baba, and even though it freaks me out, it's hard for me to part with it because she's no longer with us. So I can kind of understand that, but yes, I do not keep it in my room. Anyway, keeping the doll worked out for a while until some very weird things started happening. And when I say weird, I mean creepy as hell. Lisa would begin waking up at night to a baby crying. And not just crying in any room, crying in the basement. Now, at the time, Lisa did not have a baby. The phantom cries. No, just kidding. That would be my worst nightmare. I'm just kidding, guys. These phantom cries were accompanied with unexplained breezes in the house. And there was one night where she heard a window slam. She goes to investigate. The window is closed. The window that was once open was slammed, closed, and the little pin holding it open was a cross on the floor. Now this is the moment that Lisa decided the doll had to go. This is much unlike most horror movies where they see the doll and they keep it, and when they keep said doll, they meet their demise in the end. Speaking of horror movies or movies in general, there was a movie called Mandy the Doll that came out in 2018. I'm not sure if it's based off of, I guess it's based off of the concept and the name, but the story is not similar at all. It has nothing to do with the story. I'd say the only similarity is the dolls kind of look similar, but that's it. You guys can look it up on YouTube. It's called Mandy the Doll. It did not have good ratings, but if you're interested, you can go check it out. Anyway, Lisa donated the doll to the Quesnel and District Museum and Archives. It's a local museum that displays objects from the Quesnel area's past. The doll has attracted many visitors since it got put into this museum. A lot of people think the doll is possessed. Now, the reason they think this is that the doll's antics didn't just stop with Lisa, it continued at the museum as well. It started with lunches disappearing from the fridge, which can be explained to, some coworker named Andy taking your food and not telling you about it. But the strange thing about this was that the lunch was found later in some random drawer. Footsteps would be heard when someone is alone, and random objects would just go missing. and they would either appear later or never turn up at all. Upon entering the museum, Mandy was also photographed, as most of the artifacts, or all of the artifacts, are in the museum. And she was photographed by the museum photographer and the photographer's friend. Now, during the shoot, they started feeling really uneasy. And despite feeling uneasy, they pushed through and they finished the shoot. And they locked up, they cleaned up, they hung up the negatives to dry in the developing room because this is the 90s, and then they left. The next day, the museum curator walked into the museum, and they went into the developing room and saw that it was a complete mess. And they said, quote, "It looked like a small child had a temper tantrum in there." This wasn't the only incident with photos. A photographer from a local newspaper came to take pictures of Mandy. Once he took the photos, he brought them back to his office. When he set the photos up to be printed, the pictures never came out of the developer. It was like they just disappeared into the machine. While trying to fix the problem with the developer, he started hearing footsteps above him, which was very odd because he was supposed to be the only one in the building, so he was concerned there was an intruder up there. So he left the developing room and went upstairs to check it out, and of course, no one was there. Another local photographer named Seth Gautreaux went to take photos of the doll, and he had a weird experience during the shoot. He said that the doll, quote, "turned her head away from the lens, so I might not get her on film." Seth powered through this, however, and just decided to take the doll out of the glass case. He took her out of the case and put her on a chair. And when he went to take a picture and the flash hit her face, it looked like she was slightly smiling at him. Another woman from Calgary, Alberta, wanted to tape the doll. But when she went to do it, her camera started acting really weird. There was this light blinking really irregularly. Once she moved to another area in the exhibit, the camera started working totally fine. So when she got home, she wanted to watch the tape. So she took the tape out, put it in her VCR, and the tape got jammed into the VCR, and the only way to take it out was with force. So she ruined the tape and never got to see it. So the bottom line here is, this girl does not like her picture taken at all. Every year, visitors flock to this museum to see Mandy, and every year, something new and strange happens. From visitors claiming that her eyes followed them around the room, to some saying that they saw her blink. Is Mandy a creepy possessed doll? Or can it be just chalked up to coincidence? That's for you to decide. I know Adara would say the latter, wouldn't you, Adara? Anyway, that is my story on Mandy the Haunted Doll. Thank you for watching and experiencing the story with me. It definitely creeped me out writing it. And it's creeping me out right now recording it. And it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm gonna go to bed. Well, until my next video, peace out. And oh yeah, see you next week, Adara. Kenzie out. I'm just checking how to say the city name because I don't want to say it wrong because I say things wrong in all the videos. The phantom cries would be followed by unexplained breezes in... I'm sorry, I keep looking over here, guys. There's nothing here, but I just keep looking in this direction. Just don't mind me. It's my thinking space.
There's lots to do in Quesnel.
Quesnel! My monitor is doing some weird thing. Monitor! Oh, God, my foot is losing feeling. Oh, that feels so good.